You're watching MVBN, the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Panther Baseball here at Frank Tejada Complex, home of the Harlandale Indians and the McCullum Cowboys. The Panthers will be playing the Harlandale Indians this afternoon, and what was a beautiful week to start out with has turned into be a blustery Friday afternoon spring break. I've seen more jackets on today than you do at usually an Olympic skiing event, but nevertheless, we're having a baseball game today, Jeff. Little cool temperatures, a little bit of wind blowing, but the precipitation should hold off for this ball game. So from that aspect, we should be good to go. Jeff, the Panthers coming off of a loss to Southwest Tuesday. Panthers fell behind 3-0 early in the first inning and just could not muster any offense as the young man from Southwest, who was our player of the game, their pitcher, only allowed 3 hits to Medina Valley, 5 base runners all night. So Panthers were in a little bit of a hitting slump. Let's see if they can get out of it today. Keys to the game on this blustery day today.
Well, good morning, Maury, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yes.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody. It's always good to be out watching a baseball game, and since we're indoors, I hope everybody at home stayed inside and you're warm, or if you're at work, you're sitting at your computer tuned in to us while the players get out there and get to be cold. But, it really wasn't too bad of a day when we were walking up, Maury. The kids got long sleeves on. It's a little different than it has been earlier in the week. But going back to that Southwest game, I spoke to Coach Herb a little bit, and he said, after that first inning, it was just tough to get anything going, getting any kind of momentum. They got a hit here and a hit there. I think 2 of the hits came from the Tundra boy.
Nope, 2 of them came from the Rips boy.
2 from the Rips boy and 1 from the Tundra boy. And he said they've just spread out. You couldn't put anything together. Their Southwest pitcher did an excellent job of keeping them off balance and making pitches when he needed to. And so, tip your hat and move on to the next game. One thing you can't do in this league, as the girls are finding out right now in the softball standings, is you can't drop back-to-back games because you'll find yourself behind and playing catch-up. And as of right now, Maury, the Panthers are still in control of their destiny in this early district campaign. They can still come back around the next go-around and beat Southwest and still be in control of their own destiny. They got to win games, though. They got to be able to hit the ball. They got to be able to throw the ball, catch the ball, do all the little simple things right. And especially on days like today, things are going to be amplified a little bit when you look at what's going on, Maury, because you may be a little cold out there, and that cold may get into your head, or you can just let it go and play baseball and just be glad that you're in high school and you're having fun. So have fun today. Well, play the game the way the game's supposed to be played.
And both teams are out there playing in the same thing. So it's not like one of them has the advantage of coming from a cold weather part of the state and coming down to this, or a hot part of the state.
Right.
But the one good thing about this field is it's surrounded by beautiful trees, and it's pretty much enclosed. So the wind may not be that bad down on the field. And we're going to get to the starting lineups for this afternoon's ballgame. Coach Bobby Herb filled out his lineup card as follows. Leading off and playing center field, J.J. Gonzalez. Batting second and playing center field, Gavin Rips. Batting third and playing shortstop, Aaron Tunder. Batting fourth and behind the plate, Whit Joyce. Batting fifth and playing second base, Tanner Garst. Batting sixth and playing right field, Jaden Krieger. Batting seventh and playing third base, Manny Ramirez. Batting eighth and playing first base, Connor Dillard. And on the bump tonight, or this afternoon for the Panthers, the pitcher, Wesley Stevens. And Coach Oscar Villarreal for the Harlandale Indians filled out his lineup card as follows. Leading off for the Indians, number 6, the second baseman, Jacob Cazares. In the number 2 hole and playing third base, Eli Martinez. In the third spot and on the bump tonight, or this afternoon, Aiden Molino. Batting fourth and doing the catching, Tyner Reinwald. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, Jose Flores. Batting sixth and playing center field, Nathan Ramos. Batting seventh and at first base, Ismael Alvarez. And in the eighth spot, playing center field, Thomas Villarreal. And in center field, or in right field, the number 9 hitter, Jaden Ramirez. Those are the starting lineups for this afternoon's ball game. We went over a little bit, Jeff. I think the key, as you mentioned, you got to do all aspects correct tonight or this afternoon. You cannot fall behind early to the Indians. You got to give your pitcher a lead, which they were not able to do. But going back to the last game, Jaden Krieger showed me a lot on the mound. The fell behind, the defense was a little shaky to start with, but the young man could have just pitched tent and said, you know what, I'm done. No, he battled hard out there and showed me a lot, and let's see if the Panthers can take a little bit of momentum from his performance and carry it into this afternoon.
Well, so as is what's typical now in high school baseball is the pitch count, so Krieger will probably not be available for tonight's game. I'm sure he threw – how many innings did he throw?
He threw 6 1/3.
Yeah, so he probably went over his pitch count, so he probably won't be available on the mound today. But there's plenty of arms out there for the Panthers. They've thrown several this year. Their season record, as Max Preps has it, is 12-4. They are 1-1 in district. Harlandale's record is, not sure if this is correct, doesn't seem like that's enough games, but 6-5 overall, 0-2 in district. They have lost to Southside 6-2 and South Sand 9-4. So the common opponent right there is the South Sand team. So both teams have lost to South Sand. So, we'll see what the rest has in store. And looking forward to a good afternoon in baseball, Maury.
Yep, and we're going to take a break while we get to listen to the national anthem. We'll be back with the first pitch of the ball game when Panther baseball continues in just a moment.
Save thousands at the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year, North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get a new Silverado posted at $37,999 or lease a Texas edition for $450 a month with 0 down. All new Equinoxes are $4,000 off and new Malibus are $5,000 off. Plus, get 4.99% financing for 72 months. Find new roads at North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community more than 80 years ago to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We are proud to serve this community beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric from the power lines to the sidelines on social media or at medinaec.org.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. Matinee ball game here during spring break on a beautiful Friday afternoon. And Medina will be on the bump for the Indians. Reinwald behind the plate. At first, Alvarez. Cazares at second, Martinez at third, Flores at short. Rounding out the outfield from left to right, Ramos, Villarreal, and Ramirez. For the Panthers, the top three, Gonzalez, Rips, Tunder. Middle three, Joyce, Garst, Krieger. Bottom three, Ramirez, Dillard, and Stevens. So a big righty on the mound tonight or this afternoon. Got to get that out of my head that it is this afternoon. Is Mr. Medina for the Indians. Ryan Walt behind the plate, and we'll see, Jeff, if the Panthers can get something going early, jump out ahead and see if they can maintain it. The main thing is just to forget about what happened at Southwest. Just start putting the bat on the ball and making the defense make some plays out there. As we mentioned, there's a little bit of a breeze. It looks like it's blowing in a little bit. If not, it's blowing from left to right. So anything up in the air will be a challenge. You have to pay a lot of attention to it because it is going to play a factor in this afternoon's ball game here.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll see. It looks kind of like it's blowing left to right. Sometimes it looks like it's blowing in. It's kind of swirling out in the outfield. But, like you said earlier, Maury, everybody's got to play in it. So let's get this game going. Rock and roll.
And Jeff, I entered this weekend on a high note thinking I had one of the winning brackets in my NCAA tournament.
Until the first day.
It's done busted because Arizona done lost, and I had them going to the Final Four.
Oh,
so
boy. Well, yeah.
Nothing to watch for anymore.
Yeah. I saw that right away. It was like 12% of the brackets did not bust on day one.
First pitch from Medina, a swing and a miss for Gonzalez. Righty versus righty is the matchup. The 0-1 pitch, a little high, 1-1.
Tell you what, I watched Louisiana Lafayette, and who was that they played?
Tennessee.
Tennessee, and they had a chance to win that game last night. So that could almost was another upset.
Well, just checking some early scores, and Xavier's down at halftime against a number 12 seed themselves.
Yeah. So it's not over. It'll be day 2 of problems going again.
So the 2-1 pitch to Gonzalez is in tight, but it's called strike right under the elbows. 1 ball and 1 strike. Leadoff batter here this afternoon for the Panthers. 2-2 pitch is ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Oh.
I want to thank Chad Marty, who
Chad Marty right on the spot.
Took care of me and Jeff as the concession stand was not open, so Chad was able to bring us some drinks. So thank you, Mr. Marty.
Chad.
Swing and a miss for strike 3, 1 out. Full count pitch right down the middle. Gonzalez couldn't catch up to that one, Jeff.
Maury, a couple of good things with that at bat, though. It made him throw 5 pitches.
Yep.
Start off. So, job of a leadoff batter is not always to get on base. You'd like for him to get on base, but if you can throw make him throw a lot of pitches early, that's always a plus.
So that'll bring up the center fielder, Gavin Rips. First pitch to Rips is a strike called, 0-1.
And I got to say, we've talked about before, Maury, this pitch count rule that high school baseball went to a couple of years ago. They only went to it because of a handful of coaches.
Ball is lifted into shallow left field. A shortstop calls it 1 step in the grass and makes the play. That's Flores with the put out. F6 if you're scoring at home for the put out. And Jeff, I like the idea. There's no need to,
No, the idea
overdo a pitcher's arm this early in his career.
The idea is definitely there, but you shouldn't have to. But you and I both witnessed a kid pitching how many pitches? 180 pitches one day, and the next day he came right back and threw again in a weekend series. And that's the kind of people that they don't understand. It's not all about winning now. It's about future of kids and stuff and taking care of kids. And, you got to be the adult in a lot of these situations.
0-2 now to Thunder as he steps in with 2 outs. Infield playing deep all around for the Indians. The 2-0 pitch is a strike call, 2 balls and 1 strike. Whit Joyce waits on deck. Should Thunder keep this top of the first inning going here for the Panthers? The 2-1 pitch. Catcher set up outside, and Reinwald frames it but does not get the call. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch outside, ball 4. So the Panthers have a base runner with 2 outs. It's going to bring up the center, the catcher, Whit Joyce.
And this is my first look at baseball this year, Maury. I know you and Jared did a game the other night, but Whit Joyce is a UTSA signee, so we'll be watching him play crosstown in San Antonio, UT San Antonio, in the future. This is a spot that you want him to be in, though, runner on base.
Swing and a miss as Thunder was in motion.
When he took a hack at that
0-1.
Don't have any stats on the season, but I know Joyce has hit a few home runs and probably leads the team in RBIs.
Had him leading off earlier in the year. If you believe that or not, they sure did. A couple of early games, they had him leading off. The 0-1 pitch, just high, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner at first. Strike called. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good location on that pitch. Right in on the hands. A long staring from Molino.
Saw George take a little peek, too.
Yeah, he tried to look back.
He took a little peek.
Tried to steal the sign there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Trying to get a feel for where the catcher's setting up. There's a little peek again.
2-2. Shot at the shortstop, over the glove of the shortstop. A 2-out single. They're going to wave Thunder all the way around to third. The throw is high. And a good base running. Now Joyce will take off to go to second.
Good base running there by Joyce.
And that's when you do not hit the cutoff and you overthrow him, as Joyce was able to steal a base.
Well, he overthrew it, Maury, but the pitcher was there for the backup, and Joyce was not going to second initially, but the pitcher bobbled it, went on the backup, and as soon as he bobbled it, Joyce took off for second base, and we're going to have a courtesy runner now for Joyce, Maury, number 6, it looks like.
Brady Prokop will be the courtesy runner.
Okay, so looks like somebody got hurt on that throw. Maury, looks like is that the left fielder they're going to check on?
The center fielder actually was the one that come up with it.
Well, sure hope he's okay. I know we got a cool afternoon now. Hope he took care of his arm before the game.
He looks like he's trying to stretch it out, but as you mentioned, it's a lot cooler than it's been in a while.
Well, and sometimes you really don't make a throw like that until you make a throw like that. You know, we've seen that in the girls' games a couple times too, where they don't necessarily get out there and fully warm up. And you need to go out there and make some of those throws before you actually have to make that throw.
And it kind of sailed on him because it went over the third baseman, and like you said, the pitcher was backing him up. But when he bobbled the ball, that allowed Whit Joyce to go to second base. Right. So Panthers have runners at second and third with 2 outs. Tanner Gorst will step to the plate, and it looks like he's okay. Good to see. So you have Thunder at third, Prokop at second with 2 outs. See if the Panthers can continue this 2-out rally here in the top of the first. Two runners on, but at second and third, pitcher decides to work from the windup. And the first pitch to Gorst is lifted down the right field line, but will carry foul. No balls and 1 strike. Molina with the 0-1 pitch. Ball is lifted in the center field. Center fielder going to his right or left and makes the play. F8 if we're scoring at home. For the third out of the top of the inning for the Panthers. No runs on one hit, 2 left on base. Through half an inning, we're scoreless. Panther baseball will continue in just a moment.
Bush's Chicken, one of the oldest locations in Castroville, is proud to serve the Medina Valley area. Bush's Chicken has one goal: be the best. Bush's Chicken knows its success comes from loyal customers in the communities they serve. Stop by Bush's Chicken on Tuesday and get the Tender Tuesday deal, or try their buffalo fries and ask about their Panther special. It's always a hit. Bush's Chicken, 935 Highway 90 East in Castroville. Call them at 830-538-2800.
Texas, 268,000 square miles and then some. Twice as much elbow room as California. There's just no place like Texas. And you can take that to the bank. Texan Bank, poised and ready for a future that's wide open. Member FDIC.
Call State Farm agent Hazel Russell in Castroville at 830-931-3441.
MVBN.
The Panther baseball sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. We head to the bottom of the first. Panthers had runners in scoring position with 2 outs, but just could not get a big hit as the fly out to the center field. It was hit good, but the wind just grabbed a hold of it.
Tell you what, go back to Joyce's little single there. That was right off the handle, and his strength is what got it over the outstretched arms of the shortstop and was able to get runners to second and third.
So Stevens will be in on the hill for the Panthers. Joyce catching. Dillard at first, Garst at second, Ramirez at third, Tunder at short. From left to right, Gonzalez, Rips, and Krieger. Harlandale will send to the plate Casares, Martinez, and Molino, the top 3. Reinwald, Flores, Ramos, middle 3. Alvarez, Villarreal, and Ramirez, the bottom 3. 20 pitches in that inning thrown by Molino for the Indians. So leading off for the Indians will be the second baseman, Jacob Casares. Stevens, right-handed pitcher for the Panthers versus a righty in the box. First pitch, strike called, no balls and 1 strike.
Good job coming right out there and getting ahead of them.
The 0-1 pitch, ground ball off the pitcher's glove. Is he going to get in time? Throw over to first, not in time. Going to be a base hit to lead off the ball game. Right back up the middle. Stevens got a glove on it, but could not bring it in.
That's one of those tough ones. He even hesitated, tried to look the ball into his glove, and it still hit right off his heel.
So a leadoff single for Casares. That'll bring up the third baseman, Eli Martinez.
You could almost make the argument, that could have been an error. Because he did have enough time to field that ball and make the throw. See how he responds now.
First pitch is a ball 1. Quick look over to Casares at first. Now settles at the waist. The 0-1 pitch is a swing and a miss. Foul ball. Runner should go back to first. And he does. Evens the count at 1-1.
They had a little hit and run action going on. And, one thing.
That was a good job by the batter because that pitch was a little in. He did a good job just getting a piece of it, protecting his runner out there.
We got a question out on the field now. He called it foul. Maybe that's what he's questioning.
If he tipped it or not?
Yeah. Oh.
No, they're going to say he did not tip it. Now Coach Herbert's going to say, how can you see it from all the way out there when the home plate umpire is standing right there?
Yeah.
That's.
I mean,
if I'm me, I don't show up my partner out there.
You're not showing him up at this point, but if you're the home plate umpire, you don't make the call if you didn't see it.
Well,
you know what I mean? So why did you make the call if you didn't see it? And now you're saying
if I'm the home plate umpire and you're out in the field and you do that, I'm going to tell you I ain't working with you no more.
We've seen that a couple times this year on the softball side of things already.
I think that's what Coach Herb is asking. But we couldn't tell up here. It didn't look like the ball changed directions off the bat. So I can't say one way or the other.
So it wasn't a foul ball, but it was a strike.
But it was a strike. The count will be 1-1. Caceres will move to second base right now. And Martinez even looked back like saying, I didn't tip that ball. And I give Coach Villarreal credit, or Valenzuela here credit for coming in and questioning it.
Yeah.
And Harlandale is going to win this battle as the runner will stay on second base in Caceres.
And I guess another thing Herb could be saying is, if you saw it was a tip ball out on the field, why didn't you make the call immediately?
Yeah.
Because if you see it too, you're supposed to make that call and correct him out on the field. No, foul ball. Because you see it all the time, if it's something down in the dirt.
Correct. But nevertheless, 1 ball and 1 strike, runner at second, ground ball to second, Garst with it. And the runner should have been going.
Running there.
When it's hit to that side of the field, you've got to be moving.
Right.
Wow, that's a base running mistake right there.
Now a fly ball would have scored you possibly from third base, and now a fly ball, you're in no man's land. So
4-3 for the putout.
And that was actually, Maury, you'd be in the same situation because I don't believe that ball was hard enough to get a double play ball out of that. So you would have still had possibly a runner at second base.
So that'll bring up the pitcher, Adrian Molino. Big right-handed batter. Waits on the 1-0 pitch from Stevens. Ball is lifted back out of play, 1-1. Yeah, I believe you were right, Jeff. He had to charge that ball in the infield, and I don't know if he would have had a chance to turn a double play.
No, and he probably wouldn't have had a chance to get him at second. So possibly, you just never know. You could be in the same situation.
1-1 pitch is just high, 2-1. Stevens checks the runner at second, the 2-1 pitch. Strike call, 2-2. Breaking ball on that.
He's seen 3 breaking balls and 1 fastball in this at bat. Maybe there's a little scouting report on him.
Could be. Do not throw him nothing straight. 2-2 pitch.
There it is. On the
strike called on the inside. And, Jeff, he's been calling that pitch on the inside part of the plate. He called it in the top half of the inning.
And that's a tough one. I mean, as a pitcher, if you can locate it in there, it's tough to locate that pitch in there. But if you can locate it in there and get that call,
there's nothing the batter can do.
No,
nothing at all. It's going to bring up now the catcher, Tyler Reinwald. Caceres still at second with 2 outs, and that ball's going to get by Joyce. And there you go, Jeff.
Now you got everything you were looking for.
That if he would have been off to if he'd have been off to the races on that ground ball instead on third,
he would have been scoring.
Scored a run.
Yep. One of my assistant coaches, rest in peace, Joe Ortega, used to tell me all the time that there's I don't even remember.
There's more ways to score from third than the second.
That's right. And he would steal third base all the time. It used to drive me nuts.
The 1-0 pitch is a strike called, 1-1.
There's that inside corner. Good job by Stevens. If he can locate it there, he's going to be tough this afternoon.
The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball. That's lifted in the the air down the first base line.
And
It will be out of play.
You never know, so you got to give chase to those. Never know if that ball get blown back in.
2 strikes now to the catcher, Reinwald.
Although, Maury, this is something you and I talk about in the softball games a lot. You've got a 1-2 count here. You got 2 bases open. There's no reason to throw anything over the white part of the plate right now.
Not in the next 2 with the next 2 pitches. The 1-2 pitch, that's outside, 2-2.
That was outside, but, it looked like the catcher was set up right down the pipe,
Yep.
and he missed, which is probably a good thing. Nothing over the white.
2-2's the count. 2 outs, runner at third.
Still ahead in the count.
Stevens with the long look in. Reinwald asked for timeout and
Nope.
granted timeout.
No pitch clock here. Thank goodness. I wonder how long before the UIL decides to go to the pitch clock like major leagues and college and everybody else has. I personally don't like the pitch clock.
2-2 pitch. Ball is lifted into right field. Right fielder going back on it. He's circling, not going to have a play. That's going to be a stand-up double. And, Jeff, too much of the plate on that ball.
Yeah. It broke right over the heart of the plate, Maury, just like we were talking about with 2 strikes and you're ahead in the count. You got to stay away from it, especially, Maury, when you have a runner in scoring position.
And your number 4 hitter at the plate.
Yeah, your RBI guy.
So a great job of hitting.
Well,
2 outs.
Yeah. So far, the Indians got a hit with runners in scoring position, and the Panthers are 0 for 1.
Ibarra running for Reinwald at second base with 2 outs. As Jose Flores steps to the plate, the shortstop. First pitch from Stevens in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 pitch is a ball outside, 2-0.
Well, we wanted to see how Stevens would respond after giving up that leadoff single. Hadn't done a bad job up until that 2-2 pitch.
Well, the 2-0 pitch is a strike call, 2-1. First final in the NCAA tournament on a Friday as Michigan State comes away with a 10-point lead, 72-62 over the USC Trojans. Ball is lifted right over second base. It's going to fall down for a hit. Ibarra will be waved home. Wow, he's going to be close to the plate, and he's going to stand up and score. So, another 2-out RBI. This one belongs to Jose Flores.
Well, that was that breaking ball again, Maury, left out right over the middle of the plate. And batter just did a good job of sitting there and going with it.
Center fielder Nathan Ramos steps to the plate now for Harlandale with 2 outs. A little 2-out rally here by the Indians have put them in front 2-0. Strike called. 0-1.
Looks to me right now like Stevens needs to stick with that fastball more. Maybe throw that breaker early in the count. Throw the fastball more often.
Wow, and that hits him. And that hit by pitch is sponsored by Hazel Russell, your State Farm agent. Accidents do happen like hit by pitches. And that's sponsored by Hazel Russell. And we're going to get a visit to the mound
So
from Coach Herb.
So Stevens was rolling along there until that 2-2 pitch. And since then, he's given up a couple of a double, a single.
2 RBI and a hit by pitch.
Yep. And those runs are earned. So 2 earned runs for the Indians in their half of the first, where the Panthers missed on their opportunity.
2 upsets kind of looming here in college basketball on a Friday is Kennesaw State has a 13-point lead on number 3 Xavier, and the Baylor Bears are losing at halftime to the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos. So
I remember those Gauchos.
They usually have a pretty good baseball program also.
Yeah. Texas.
First pitch is a swing and a tip.
Saw him in
Ismael Alvarez at the plate now for the Indians.
I saw him in Stanford, California last year. The Gauchos.
Ball is fouled down the third baseline. Evens the count, or falls down now in the count 0-2. First left-handed batter in the lineup for the Indians. Stevens settles, checks the runner first. The 0-2 pitch in tight, 1-2.
Back him off the plate there, and I'd come back with that breaker. Try to break it in the back door.
The 1-2 pitch, high, 2-2.
He's you see his mannerisms up there. He's a little getting a little frustrated.
Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. You like that hand in poker in Vegas, 4 deuces.
I'd love to have had one of those.
Breaking ball called strike, a backwards K looking for out number 3. But for the Indians in that inning, 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 left on base. We're through 1 inning. Medina Valley trails 2-0. Panther baseball will continue in just a moment.
Nobody can design, create, or maintain your lawn better than 3D Landscaping and Irrigation. With over 17 years of experience, owner Ray Doyen and his crew take pride in their craftsmanship and service. They're fully insured, offer free estimates, and multiple references, so you know you're getting the best. 3D does landscaping, lawn maintenance, irrigation, tree installation, lighting, and more. Whether it's residential or commercial, 3D Landscaping and Irrigation has you covered. Give 3D a call at 830-985-9115 or find us online at threedlandscaping.com.
Who has the best sports coverage for Medina Valley? We do.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. We head to the top of the second. Medina Valley trails 2-0. 26 pitches there in that inning thrown by Stevens. Molino back on the bump for the Harlandale Indians. He threw 20 in that first inning. All the damage came with 2 outs as Reinwald with a RBI double, followed by Flores with an RBI single, and then a hit by pitch, but then a strikeout ended the inning. So Jaden Krieger, the right fielder, steps to the plate. That ball is hit to the ground. Shortstop to Flores. Flores with the throw over in time for the putout. 6-3 for out number 1. It's going to bring up the third baseman, Manny Ramirez. Dillard on deck. Panthers trail here in the second, 2-0. Both runs earned for the Indians. Strike called as Molino paints the inside part of the plate, 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball. Shortstop cannot get it. That's a single.
And you know, Maury, that was a pretty good pitch. He was in there on the inner half of that plate. But Ramirez did a good job of barreling that ball up and getting it right back up the middle.
Yeah, he got the barrel around on that inside pitch. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Connor Dillard. So a 1-out single for Ramirez. Second hit of the ball game for the Panthers, as Joyce had one in the first inning. Ball is fouled down the first base line. 0-1.
Well, this group of batters in the middle third of the order for the Panthers, they're getting up there hacking.
Snap throw over, not in time. Ramirez back in head first. The 0-1 pitch, called strike, step throw down to first base, tagged by Alvarez, not in time. As Ramirez back in there head first. Dillard down in the count now, 0-2. Medina with the 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was a good job by Molina, trying to nibble away at the edge of the plate there.
The 1-2 pitch. Ball is lifted down the first base side, but will fall out of play. Count will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the second, the score's 2-0 in favor of the Indians. A 2-out rally has them up early. Panthers with the runner at first with 1 out. The 1-2 count. It's a swing and a miss. Snap throw down, not in time when he fakes the throw. Second strikeout of the ball game for Molina. That will bring up the pitcher, Wesley Stevens. First pitch to Stevens is a strike called, 0-1. Medina checks the run at first. The 0-1 pitch. Tries to paint the outside part of the plate, but just off a little bit as the count moves to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, runner at first is Ramirez. The 1-1 pitch is foul back off the catcher's mask. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Somebody needs to get that. There you go. Modest lead at first. Foul back out of play. Count will hold at 1-2. The 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball, 2-2. And I was just going to say, Jeff, if there's a time to steal, that would have been the time, because you're going to see something off speed. If you get a good lead, it's a pitcher's count. You're not going to throw nothing over the middle. Good job of hitting opposite field for a base hit.
That's got a chance to get.
Ramirez is going to chase it. That's going to be all the way around. They're going to wave the runner. He's going to slide in and score. Great job of hitting by Wesley Stevens going the opposite way, and that was just a bad angle that Ramirez took in right field.
Yeah, it was it was one of those left to right swerving balls to a right fielder from a right-handed batter, and that ball just kept going away from him and away from him, and he never adjusted his angle, and he just kept running parallel or perpendicular to that ball, and it just kept going away from him. And finally, once he caught up to it, there was not a good chance that he was going to get him.
Well, and if you look at the wind, it, like we said when the game started, it was blowing from left to right, and that was carrying the ball all the way away from Ramirez in right field.
Yeah, I'll tell you another good thing there that we overlook is a good job of base running by not trying to go to third base. You don't want to make the last out of the inning at third base when you're already in scoring position.
Especially when you turn it over to the top of the order now with J.J. Gonzalez. He's 0 for 1. He struck out to start the game, but has a chance here with Phillips at second base to tie this ball game up. Gill 1 pitch is outside, 1-1.
And who'd you say, do we have a courtesy runner?
Yes. Number 14, or excuse me, no, number
we got a ball.
13. Jackson Lowell. Balk from Medina as Lowell will move to third base now.
And I'm going to say that the balk there was probably because he didn't stop. He didn't pause. He came set and he looked and went. I mean, there was no pause there. It was just pretty much a fluid motion, which you can't have from the stretch.
Now he works from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Just off the plate, 2-1.
This umpire doesn't like the outside, but he sure does like that inside corner is what he's shown early.
2-1 pitch. Foul back, out of play, 2-2.
I think Gonzalez, he hops away. I think he's a little upset he missed that one.
Yeah, he that's the pitch he wanted right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at third. And the 2-2 pitch. Fills up the count now. As on that pitch, Molina worked from the stretch. Now he's back from the windup.
Well, so you can tell his most comfortable spot is from the windup. So if
Full
you can
count.
Get him, and I was just about to say, if you can get him in the stretch, obviously that's not where he wants to be, as the Gonzalez just does as he draws a walk.
Second walk of the ball game. He's going to bring up Gavin Rips. Gavin popped up to the shortstop his previous at bat. Now runners at the corners. Panthers looking to tie this ball game up as they trailing 2-1 here in the top of the second.
Second opportunity here, with the runners in scoring position for the Panthers.
Wow, they threw it down, and the second baseman was in front of the bag.
Well,
so
with 2 outs, you would throw it through.
No.
You want to try to get the runner at second base.
Exactly.
So it was a bad throw, and I tell you what, it was a good jump. So 2 guys in scoring position now for Rips.
Stolen base for Gonzalez. Count now 2 balls and no strikes. As Molino changes back and works from the windup now. It runners at second and third. The 2-0 pitch is outside, 3-0. Taking 2 pitches in a row here if you have to. Now the shortstop Flores comes in, wants to have a talk with the pitcher. Now we'll have
He's probably telling him, you want to throw a strike here because on deck you've got sitting. Is it
one of the hottest batters?
Yeah,
was the player of the week during the tournament for his hitting in the tournament. Aaron Tundry.
And
went 11 for 15.
He had 2 of the 3 hits Tuesday night for the
Nope.
Panthers.
He had
I'm
1.
Sorry, I keep saying he had 2. He had 1. 1 of the 3 hits.
The young man who had 2 is up at the plate right now.
So if you're the Panthers, you're in a pretty good spot.
Taken all the way in tight, but it's a strike called, 3-1. Nothing Rips could do with that one, regardless. Location was very good. And a 3-1. Ball is lifted in the shallow right field. The second baseman back on the grass, Cazares, and makes the play. So F4, he was scoring at home for the 3rd out of the inning. For the Panthers in that inning, 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 2 on base. Work through an inning and a half. The Panthers trail 2-1. Panther baseball will continue in just a moment.
The Medina Valley Sports Boosters are proud to support the Medina Valley Panthers. The Boosters are always looking for volunteers and new members. The MVP Boosters raise funds to support the MVISD sports and scholarship programs. Get your Panther swag at the football store located next to the concession stand. We have several items on sale. Join, volunteer, or purchase your Panther swag today at mvpboosters.com.
Nothing but the best sports coverage for Medina Valley.
He really grows on you, doesn't he?
This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. We head to the bottom of the second. Panthers have cut the lead in half. It's 2-1 now. Stevens goes back out there. He will face 8-9-1. Villarreal, Ramirez, and then Cazares. in that inning. Molino threw 26 pitches, so he is up to 46 now for the ball game.
Hey, Maury, you wearing your green? Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yep. I might have me a green refreshment before the day's over.
Green tea?
And I don't mean lettuce.
Green tea.
I mean some good Lipton green tea. First pitch is a ground ball. It's off the glove of Stevens, and he picks it up and he underhands that one. And Dillard cannot handle that one. That's going to be an error.
Yeah, he had plenty of time to set his feet and throw the ball overhand, and he got a little rushy. And that's kind of what happens to you when you have the situation that you had in the first inning with the first batter. You kind of second guess yourself, and and it's just one of those plays you got to be able to make.
So Jaden Ramirez, now the right fielder, steps to the plate.
More importantly, Maury, you got to be able to come back and throw strikes and get outs.
Squares around the bunt, and that goes over his head. He pulls it back. And Villarreal will stand up at second base.
And Maury, he left the bat out there. Let's see what the umpire calls it.
That's a wild pitch.
Yeah, but he left the bat out there.
He didn't call it a strike.
He didn't.
It's 1 ball and no strikes.
That would be one I'd be checking.
2-0. Of course, to his credit, I don't know if he was even thinking about the bat. He was just trying to get out of the way.
He was about to get one in the grill.
Two-0 pitch is a strike call. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch in tight. 3-1. Got an update from Southwest as McCullum is ahead of Southwest 2-0 in the second inning. A delay in the ball game. As they said, the home plate umpire needs some assistance as he took a hard foul ball off the face mask. Ball 4. So an error and a walk has runners at first and second with no outs as we take it back to the top of the order. Jacob Cazares comes to the plate. Cazares, as he is 1 for 1 with a run scored.
Not good here when you got you got 8 and 9 and they get on base, and you come around to the top of the order with no outs. So let's see if he can minimize the damage here.
Need to turn one over. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball way up high. One ball and no strikes. Oh, and that's off the shoulder. Wow. Second hit batsman for Stevens. And that is sponsored by Hazel Russell, your State Farm agent. When accidents happen, as those hit by pitches,
Maury, I'd take
you need your State Farm agent. And, Jeff, somebody needs to start warming up because
just looking down there in the bullpen, and I don't see anybody throwing. So either the next pitcher's out on the field or Coach Herb's going to let him try to pitch his way out of this. Nobody out with bases loaded right now.
An error, a walk, and a hit by pitch. That sets the table for the third baseman, Eli Martinez. Eli grounded out to the second baseman for the first out in inning number 1. Strike called, 0-1. And I'm sure right now Coach Valenzuela would like him and wouldn't mind it if he does the same thing and hits it in the opposite direction and puts a run across here.
Well, they're playing really shallow all the way around the outfield.
That ball is foul, 0-2.
Look how shallow they're playing, Maury.
They're playing shallow, but they're playing double play depth in the middle. Infield.
I'm talking about
no, I know. I'm saying that outfield is shallow, but
Well, we got the corners up, which
corners
is normal.
up,
So anything
coming
hit up
home.
in the middle will turn 2 in the middle. Corners will go home to first. But the outfield is very shallow.
The 0-2 pitch is high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Normally in a situation like this, you'd kind of try to play a no doubles defense with your outfielders. Take away, those big hits.
The 1-2 pitch. Wow, tries to throw a breaking ball, and that stayed up. Jeff, the curveball is just definitely not working so far this afternoon. Everything is staying up.
But his breaking ball, Maury, looks like it's a one-level breaking ball. It's looking like it's breaking side to side. There's not much depth to it.
The 2-2 pitch is lifted back out of play.
And that one was evident as the batter jumped out of the way because he thought it was going to get hit, but it just kind of broke straight across the plate.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases full of Indians with nobody out here in the second. Timeout called by Martinez.
Big at bat here for Harlandale.
Absolutely. Big at bat for both teams. Panthers need to come out of here giving up as few as they can. That pitch is way outside. Tried to throw another breaking ball, Jeff, and it just.
You see how it. I mean, it's a sweeper.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any depth to it.
It's not that 12-6.
No.
Payoff pitch.
But
strike called.
That was a good pitch.
Good pitch. Martinez thought that was off the plate. But a backwards K for out number 1.
Credit to the pitcher on that one. I mean, he picked away at that outside corner. But if you're the batter,
you got to swing at that. Oh, absolutely.
That's way too close with 2 strikes.
Absolutely. And he had given him a dose of curveball. That one, he just reared back and threw the heater right by him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Adrian Molino comes to the plate. Molino struck out for the second out, and then what broke loose in that inning as Harlandale produced 2 runs with 2 outs. So let's see if the pitcher can help out his own cause here. First pitch, and he does. That's a base hit right up the middle. 1 run will score.
Well,
Rips with the throw in. The cutoff is made.
Another base running mistake there by Harlandale.
Yeah, the runner, I don't know if he thought Rips was going to catch it in center field or not, but that was definitely not going to be caught, and he was just standing at second base.
Yep, he turned to see where the center fielder. One of the keys to base running in that situation is you look and see where those outfielders are before the pitch, so And he waited until after the ball was hit to check and see where that center fielder was.
Courtesy runner now in the game for Molina.
Now, this kid is the one that hit one over the left fielder's head last time.
Yep.
Now you see the outfield, the left side, backed up a couple of steps.
Yeah, Reinwald, the catcher, is 1 for 1 with a double, a RBI, and a run scored. Base is still full with 1 out. Pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Ramirez at third, Gonzalez at second, and Molino at first. The 0-1 pitch is a strike called, 1-1.
And right now, Maury, it looks more like that breaker is just a show-me pitch. Change the speed, change the eye level. Because his fastball is his best pitch right now.
And that's what Reinwald sees right here as he fouls it back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now, 2-2 count, last at bat, he threw him a breaker right over the heart of the plate. See if he sticks with the fastball, maybe going inside again.
The 1-2 pitch.
There it is.
Inside. Wow, 2-2. That's a good pitch there.
That was a good pitch. I'd come right back there again.
The umpires like that pitch all afternoon. Now the 2-2 pitch.
He did.
Swing and a miss.
Good job of pitching that time.
Another strikeout. That's the 4th of the ball game, and that was well needed. Now Jose Flores steps to the plate.
Ooh, little rush.
Yeah, a little Tom Sawyer. Ground ball to the pitcher.
Now he's going to run it over
Pitcher
there.
will run it over.
And over
there
and
you
toss
go.
it. A heck of a job there by the young man. Nice job of pitching. Got to give Stevens credit there.
So he works out of that jam, only gives up 1 run in that inning. 1 run on 1 hit, 3 left on base. We're through 2 innings. Medina Valley trails 2-1. Panther Baseball continue in just a moment.
Save thousands at the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year, North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get a new Silverado posted at $37,999 or lease a Texas edition for $450 a month with 0 down. All new Equinoxes are $4,000 off and new Malibus are $5,000 off. Plus, get 4.99% financing for 72 months. Find new roads at North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com.
MVBN.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. We head to the top of the third, Medina Valley trailing 3-1, but a great job of getting out of a bases-loaded jam with no outs and only yielding 1 run, as that could have been really devastating for the Panthers. Nevertheless, Stevens pitches out of a jam. 46 pitches so far.
Want to give a shout out to our newest advertiser, the Rusty Rooster drive-thru. Make a quick stop on your way home from work or drop by on the weekend to grab some drinks without ever leaving your truck. The Rusty Rooster is the place for quenching your thirst from sunup to sundown. After all, anything goes till the rooster crows.
Absolutely.
Stop and drive through and let them serve you.
So 46 pitches for Molino, 48 for Stevens, both through 2 innings. Aaron Tundry will lead off for the Panthers. No official at bats as he walked in the first inning. Takes that pitch for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, strike called, 0-2. The 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Sun is trying to peek through the clouds. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, wow.
Ooh, wow.
Couple of
pretty good pitch right there.
Moans from the Harlandale side. That was a good pitch right there, but little up in the zone, 2-2. Reinwald trying to bring that pitch from the outside part of the plate in. Full count now as Thunder's battled back to fill up the count. And the pitch. Ground ball to short. Shortstop Flores feels it. Throw over to first in time for the putout. 6-3 if you're scoring at home. That's the second ground out of the ball game. 2 strikeouts, 2 flyouts. Whit Joyce now steps to the plate. Joyce is 1 for 1. Siegel but was stranded in the first inning. So Molino gets the sign from the catcher. And the first pitch to Joyce. Ball is lifted in the air. Second baseman calls it. The wind's playing a little bit of havoc with it, but he stays with it and makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out for Joyce. F4 if you're scoring at home for the second out in inning number 3. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Tanner Garst. Garst flew out to the center fielder his first at bat, so he's 0 for 1. First pitch is a line drive over the outstretched arm of the second baseman for a 2-out single for Garst. It's the third hit of the ball game. It's going to bring up the right fielder, Jaden Krieger. Krieger grounded out to Flores at short to start off inning number 2, excuse me. Molino checks the runner. And the pitch. Strike called, 1-1. Breaking ball in there, 1-2. Kind of froze Krieger on that pitch. It's great breaking ball there.
1-2 count.
1 ball, 2. Breaking ball that's lifted in the left field. Left fielder going back a couple steps, now in and makes the play.
He just missed that one.
F7 if you're scoring at home for the final out in that inning. For the Panthers, no runs on 1 hit. 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. Medina Valley trails 3-1. Panther softball will continue in just a moment.
You gotta look at the guy next to you. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows you're gonna do the same for him.
This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Medina Electric Cooperative was built by this community more than 80 years ago to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable energy. We are proud to serve this community beyond the power lines. You can find us supporting your kids' Little League, sponsoring school events, hosting safety presentations, and more. We're honored to belong to this community. Keep up with Medina Electric from the power lines to the sidelines on social media or at medinaec.org.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. 12 pitches thrown in that inning, so Molino is up to 58 now through 3. Stevens back out, though, for his third inning of work as he sits at 48. As he finishes wind-up pitches, Harlandale will send to the plate 6, 7, 8, Ramos, Alvarez, and Villarreal. Ramos was hit by a pitch and was stranded on the bases in the first inning. So let's see if Stevens can do what Molino did in that inning, get a real quick inning. Not too many pitches here. The first pitch is a strike called, 0-1. Second final of the afternoon in college basketball as the Xavier Musketeers fend off the upset bid by Kennesaw and scored the last 5 points of the ball game as the game was tied 67-67. Xavier comes away with a 72-67 win to stay in the big dance. The 0-2 pitch is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. For all you basketball connoisseurs, the 1-2 pitch, ground ball to short, Thunder up, scoop, throw over in time for the out.
Good job, good play there by Thunder.
6-3 for the out.
First time the Panthers have got the Indians out.
On leadoff batter.
The leadoff batter.
First inning was a strikeout for Ismael Alvarez, so he is 0 for 1. Left-handed batter. Breaking ball, cannot backdoor him. 1 ball and no strikes. Three to 1 is the score here as Harlandale bats in the bottom of the third. That pitch is a chopper to the second baseman, Garst. Garst with a throw over in time for the putout. 4-3, we're scoring for out number 2.
Tell you what, Garst made a good play there because that ball.
It hit on the seam, or not on the seam, but on the edge. Yes.
Yeah, it hit right off the lip, and it kind of was a tweener. Almost tried to scoot under his glove, but he kept his glove down, made the play.
Thomas Villarreal now at the plate. Villarreal is 0 for 1 with a run scored as he led off the second with a little chopper back to Stevens. He couldn't handle it off the glove. That ball is hit in the right field. He's got to play at first base.
Oh,
he got him.
Got him.
What a play by Jaden Krieger in right field as that ball was hit hard. You said, Jeff, the outfield is playing in, and a great job as he threw to first base and retires him. 9-3 for the final out in that inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go to the fourth, 3-1. Panthers need some offense. Panther baseball will continue in a moment.
The Medina Valley Broadcast Network. We lead, they follow. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network. Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball as we head to the top of the fourth. Only 7 pitches in that inning for Stevens. His total is up to 55. And, Jeff, that's just what we said he needed, one of those quick innings. And he got it right there as Molino back out there for his 4th inning of work for the Indians. He's thrown 58. Panthers will send to the plate Ramirez, Dillard, and Stevens, 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, I almost said that Krieger wasn't going to get him because he kind of double clutched on his throw over there, but he still got him at first. A great play by Jaden Krieger out there in right field.
Absolutely.
And that was on a ball that wasn't hit too hard.
But they were playing up, as you mentioned earlier in the game. First pitch to Ramirez is a strike called, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is outside. Evens the count at 1-1. And the pitch, swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Strikeout to start off the inning for out number 1. Third strikeout of the ball game. It's going to bring up the first baseman, Connor Dillard. Dillard was a strikeout victim in inning number 2 for the Panthers, so he is 0 for 1. Pitch is lifted in the air, but it will be foul out of play. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 breaking ball just up. Evens the count at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Ball is lifted in the shallow right field. Right fielder in and makes the play. That's Ramirez with a fine play in right field. F9 if you're scoring at home for out number 2. 5 flyouts, 3 ground outs, 3 strikeouts for Medina so far. He's going to bring up the pitcher, Wesley Stevens. Stevens doubled and drove in the lone run for the Panthers. That came with 2 outs. Strike called, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, and that's the second hit of the ball game for Stevens. Both of them coming with 2 outs. So let's see if we can rally again here with 2 outs. And Jeff, that was a mistake there by Medina with 0-2. Your number 9 batter at the plate. That was way too easy.
Well, they threw him 2 breaking balls back to back, and he sat on that one and just drove it.
Jackson Lowell, the courtesy runner for the pitcher. So we head back to the top of the order in J.J. Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. Takes that pitch for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to third. Third baseman Martinez over to first. Not a good throw as he lobbed it over there. And Alvarez cannot handle the throw. That's an E5.
Yeah, that was not real sure why he just lobbed it over there like that.
He had momentum coming forward.
Yeah. It's like he wasn't used to playing third base and making that throw on the run. But nonetheless, it's an error, and Panthers keep the inning alive.
Jeff, a good heads-up job of going to third base for Stevens.
Right.
So now runners at the corners with 2 outs. Gavin Rips at the plate. Rips is 0 for 2. Popped up to the shortstop and to the second baseman.
And this is a running situation here again, Maury. You're at the top of your order, and that's what they're going to do. And that one is going to go through and get off that's off the second baseman's glove and going to score a run.
And they never let it go through as he cut it off in front of the base.
Yeah, he tried to cut it off, which he should have let it go through because they were going to have a play at second base. So
another error plates the second run of the ball game as Stevens comes in and scores. Gonzalez goes to second. That was a strike called on Gavin Rips. It was 0 for 1, but the tying run is at second base with 2 outs here in the 4th. Ground ball to third base, Martinez. Martinez with the throw over, and it's safe. He pulled him off the base.
Yeah, he did. And the first baseman gets upset and throws the ball hard back at the pitcher, and he's lucky the pitcher got a glove on it.
The Panthers would have scored the tying runner in another error.
That one would have been in the Harlandale dugout.
So back-to-back errors by the Indians, and the Panthers have runners on the corners with 2 outs. And Aaron Tunder at the plate. Going to have a visit at the mound by Coach Valenzuela.
Now, here's a situation that I don't think I would be running.
No, not with him at the plate.
Not with your next 2 batters. Your top RBI guys are up.
But I will say you probably have one of your fastest players at first base. But I don't think you make that third out at second base when you got the tying run at third here.
Right.
And
I don't
you have a defense that's
made a couple errors.
Couple of errors.
But I wouldn't do it early in the count. If you're going to do it once he gets 2 strikes, that's a different story.
Yeah, when it's a pitcher's count and you think he's not going to try to throw something dead red down the middle, or a breaking ball or something, then maybe. So the umpires out there going to break up the
Tea party.
Powwow. Get it? Indians. Powwow.
Indians, powwow. Oh, Maury.
Well, you said tea party.
Tea party.
What's that? We're not in Boston.
Yeah, but it's green tea. St. Patty's Day.
So Thunder steps to the plate with runners at the corners. Gonzalez at third, rips it first. Squares around the bunt, pulls it back, takes it for a strike, and Rips will stand up. Fielder's indifference.
That's why you and I sit up here, Maury. We don't make those kind of calls.
Well, he didn't even attempt to throw it.
No.
0-1 now as he goes back to work from the windup. 0-1 pitch is a strike called. 0-2.
But the way they do it, they give up the pitch. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Every time we steal, we square around the bunt and we give up the pitch. So you've taken a pitch away from one of your top RBI guys.
The 0-2 pitch, you take away a strike.
Yeah, in that situation, you took away a strike.
And you took away a strike.
I would have been looking breaking ball on the first pitch in that situation, which he threw him.
The 1 ball and 2 strikes now as Thunder awaits. Pitch is on its way. Wow, just off the plate, 2-2.
Saw the catcher did a good job trying to bring that one back in. But like we said early, he established that he was going to call the inside strike and not the outside strike early on.
2-2 pitch. Full count. Thunder fell behind. 0-2 his last at bat. And has battled it back to full count. A walk and a ground out so far. Thunder's 0 for 1, but could put the Panthers ahead with a hit. Ball 4. So bases juiced now for the Panthers. 3 walks now in the ball game for Molina. It's going to bring up Whit Joyce. Joyce singled and popped up to the second baseman, so he is 0 for 1.
Well, this is a situation if you're Joyce. You're the Division I baseball signee. This is the spot that you want to be in when you're playing for your high school team. You look for something out over the plate, belt high, that you can drive somewhere in the field.
First pitch to Joyce. Ground ball to third. Third baseman with an easy play. 5 unassisted. Fielder's choice for Joyce. 5 unassisted for out number 3 for the Panthers in that inning. 1 run on 1 hit. 3 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. The Panthers trail 3-2. Panther baseball will continue in just a moment.
We're willing to accept the responsibility that you have to protect this team and this school and this town. And make no mistake about it, gentlemen. We are in the business of protecting this town.
This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network. Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. 20 pitches in that top of the inning for Molina as he is up to 78 now. And, Jeff, that's 2 innings that the Panthers have had the bases loaded and cannot get that big hit.
Right, yeah, and that right there.
The Panthers through 4 innings, Jeff, have stranded 8 batters left on base through the first 4 innings.
Well, part of the problem is you get them on with 2 outs.
But still, you got to get a big hit.
And you get them on with 2 outs, and you're not getting the big hit. But right there, Maury, you have your 2 RBI leaders, up with runners in scoring position, and you come through with nothing.
Well, but one of them got to walk.
One of them got to walk. But in that situation there, you got to be looking for that pitch out over the plate that you can drive early in the count and make things happen.
Stevens back out there. First pitch to the number 9 hitter, Ramirez's ball. Ramirez, no official at bats as he walked, but was stranded as Stevens pitched out of a bases-loaded jam in the second inning, and Ramirez was left at third base. Takes that for a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike now. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball high, 2-1. Stevens back out there. He was through 55 pitches through his first 3. Now sits at 58. The 2-1 pitch is a ground ball to Garst at second. Garst fields it to throw over to first in time for the putout. 4-3 if you're scoring at home for out number 1. 6 ground outs now for Stevens. We head back to the top of the order. Perfect day going for Jacob Casares. Singled and was hit by a pitch, so he is 1 for 1 with a run scored.
He's done his job as a leadoff batter getting on base.
Yes, he has. First pitch is a breaking ball for strike 1, 0-1. That's the best breaking ball we've seen all afternoon for Stevens. The 0-1 is a ground ball to third, but foul. Down in the count now, 0-2. Let's see if Stevens can figure him out for the first time this afternoon. The 0-2 pitch outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Still don't see any activity in either pen, Maury.
Well, we had somebody warming up last inning.
Oh, we did?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a ground ball up the middle. Tunder will field it in front of second and makes a strong throw to first.
Heck of a play there by
Great
Tunder.
play by Aaron Tunder.
That ball off the bat, I didn't think he had a chance.
I was going to say he's got another base hit, another infield single. But nevertheless, a great play by Tunder there. Charge it in from shortstop, 6-3 we're scoring at home for the putout. It's going to bring up the number 2 hitter, Eli Martinez. Eli grounded out to Gorst and was a strikeout victim from Stevens, so he's 0 for 2. Breaking ball stays out. 1 ball and no strikes. Another 3 up, 3 down inning would be just what Stevens needs here. Fastball stays outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch is inside, 3-0. And Jeff, your son's a pitcher. He's actually pitching for the White Sox organization. Has Stevens thrown anything but a curveball and a fastball this afternoon?
That's pretty much primarily it.
I mean, I haven't noticed a changeup. That 3-0 pitch is a strike called 0-1 or 3-1.
No, not being down there on the field or
it's hard to tell,
it's
but
hard to see. But it looks like it's just been a 2-pitch arsenal for Stevens.
The 3-1 pitch. Wow, down low, ball 4.
That's tough right there. You get those first 2 outs, and you want to come right back, and he got behind a little bit, and then he looked like he struggled to find the plate. So let's see out of the stretch if he can slow things down. Sometimes all it is just a change of release point.
So Medina steps to the plate.
It looks like he needs a
Medina
timeout
is
right now.
a strikeout victim and then singled and drove in a run. So he's driven in 1 of the 3 runs, batting in the number 3 spot. Thing about that, Jeff, is now you got a runner on with 2 outs, but you got 3 and 4 batters at the plate.
Right.
That ball is lifted out of play, foul down the first baseline, evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, take a deep breath and remember it's about the next pitch. It's not about the 1-2 pitches down the road.
Breaking ball stays up. 2 balls and 1 strike. The catcher, Reinwald, waits on deck. Martinez with an average lead at first. The 2-1 pitch is a strike called. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Harlandale with a slim 3-2 lead.
Good pitch right there by Stevens.
Absolutely.
I'd go right back there.
Same spot.
If he has the control. He tried.
Just outside, fills up the count. So Martinez should be in motion here with a full count and 2 outs.
best pitch has been your fastball. I would live with the fastball right now.
And there it is, the ground ball to third. Ramirez waves at it, but it gets by him for a 2-out single.
Yeah, he kind of olayed that one. Keep living with fire with these two guys. You know, these two middle of the lineup guys with Harlandale. They got to him one time, the RBI double in the first. He's been successful getting them out the last couple of times, or getting out of trouble in the inning, I should say.
Right. Reinhold is, as you mentioned, 1 for 2. He doubled, drove in a run, and scored the second run of the ball game. So an RBI and a run scored. Always a strikeout, also a strikeout victim.
It's when he attacked him inside with those fastballs.
Pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Martinez at second, courtesy runner at first. Stevens works from the stretch. That is a ground ball to third, but it's going to be weakly hit in foul ball territory. Dillard not even holding the runner on at first as he is playing almost to the grass. And that's what you need to do, Jeff. You want to protect that double. You want to protect the line. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball is short. Tundra with it. Flips it over to second for the putout. So 6-4 for the putout to end the inning. For the Indians in that inning, no runs on 1 hit, 2 left on base. We go to the 5th. Medina Valley trails 3-2. Panther baseball will continue in just a moment.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Let's get social. Like Medina Valley Broadcast Network on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at MVBroadnet and visit the official website at mvbn.net. Get the latest and join the conversation about all things Medina Valley sports. Come on, let's talk.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. 22 pitches in that bottom of the inning, as Stevens is up to 77. As we head to the 5th, 77 for Stevens, 78 for Molino, as the Panthers will send to the plate 5, 6, 7, Garst, Krieger, and Ramirez. Panthers have never led in this ball game, trailed 2-0, close to 2-1. Then fell behind 3-2 and have cut it to 3-1, and then have cut it to 3-2. Garst with a fly out to center field and a single, so he is 0 for 1. 1 for 1. Ball is lifted down the first baseline. The first baseman Alvarez gives chase, but will not get it. It is 0-1. Garst, Krieger, and Ramirez for the Panthers in the 5th. Molino settles. The 0-1 pitch is a shot into left field. Left fielder on it, cannot make it as it falls in front of him. So back-to-back singles for Garst as he singled in the 3rd, now in the 5th. Leadoff single. That Panthers have something going here. Jaden Krieger now steps to the plate. Krieger grounded out to Flores at shortstop and then flew out to Ramos in left field, so he is 0 for 2 in the contest this afternoon. Five hits in the ball game now off Molino for the Panther batters. Squares around the bunt, but it'll be foul. Count will be 0-1. Off to the races.
Hit and run.
Only one play, and that's the first bases. Flores over to Alvarez for the putout, but a hit and run for the Panthers.
Not sure if that was a called hit and run, Maury, or a hit and run, but
or a run and hit.
Yeah, but Krieger did a good job of putting the bat on the ball and getting the runner over to second base. You'd have to assume they had something on there since they tried to bunt him over the
first time. So Ramirez steps to the plate. Ramirez is 1 for 2. A single scored a run for the Panthers and is struck out.
But when you get the leadoff batter on, you can do so many more things.
Absolutely. So Ramirez scored the first run of the ball game. That was on Stevens' 2-out double in the second. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gorst, your tying run at second base here in the 5th with 1 out. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes count.
The Panthers have trailed every inning up to now.
Have a chance to even it up though here with a base hit.
Yeah, they got 2 swings or two batters at it now.
Catcher set up a little out. 2-1 pitch is hit into left field. Left fielder a couple of steps in and makes the play. So F7 for out number 2 in the inning. He's going to send up Connor Dillard. Dillard is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fly out to the right fielder. Or no, actually this is a pinch hitter. Prokoff now will bat for Dillard. First pitch to Prokoff is a strike called, 0-1. Molino checks the runner at second, the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Prokoff waits the 1-1 pitch. It's a ground ball. Shortstop cuts it off. The throw over to first. A strong throw by Flores. A great play in the hole by Flores. That ends the inning 6-3. For the Panthers, no runs on 1 hit, 1 more left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Panthers trail 3-2. Panther baseball will continue in a moment.
Save thousands at the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year, North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get a new Silverado posted at $37,999 or lease a Texas edition for $450 a month with 0 down. All new Equinoxes are $4,000 off and new Malibus are $5,000 off. Plus, get 4.99% financing for 72 months. Find new roads at North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com.
MVBN.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. 11 pitches in that inning for Medina as he sits at 89 through 5. Panthers will change pitchers here as Dalton Gutierrez comes to the mound for the Panthers. That will end the evening or afternoon for Stevens as he threw 77 pitches through 4.
We've got defensive changes all the way around, Maury. Number 6 is now at first base.
That's Brokoff.
Looks like Stevens went to third base.
Ramirez may be the one that Gutierrez comes in for.
Well, number 4 is at shortstop. Is that Tundry still?
Number 4 is Aaron Tunder.
Okay. And then
he's still at short.
Yeah, the middle's still the same.
So what you got here is you got Gutierrez in for Ramirez's spot, and Stevens goes to third base. So Flores, Ramos, and Alvarez. 5, 6, 7 for the Indians here in the 5th. First pitch from Gutierrez is inside. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Flores pops this one up, but it'll be out of play. Flores is 1 for 2. Flores singled his first at bat. Had an RBI as he drove in Reinwald. He drove in the second run of the ball game in the first inning. And then grounded out to the first baseman. So he is 1 for 2 with an RBI. It's a ground ball hit at Stevens. Stevens throw over across the diamond in time for the put out to Prokoff. 5-3 we're scoring at home for out number 1. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Nathan Ramos. Ramos was hit by a pitch and grounded out to Thunder. So 0 for 1 in the contest. First pitch is a ground ball to Garst at second. Garst over Brokoff at first for the putout. 4-3 if you're scoring at home for out number 2.
I hadn't seen Dalton pitch in a few years, Maury, but it looks like he is a junk ball pitcher. That right there was just a little curveball. It had some nice downward movement to it, and batter got on top of it and hit a weak ground ball to second base. So good job there by Gutierrez getting 2 quick outs.
Ismael Alvarez, the first baseman, at the plate. Alvarez a strikeout and a ground out to Garst at second. He was one of the Panthers, one of the players to watch this year in the preseason capsule for Medina Valley.
Yeah, he
was Gutierrez.
Changes a lot of speed there. Off-speed pitches, back and forth. Probably got a show-me fastball. You know, with not a lot of zip on it, but something that's straight that you can show change to help those breaking pitches.
That breaking pitch was called a strike, so it's 0-1 to the lefty.
And there was the fastball. Had a little tail on it. Show me fastball. See if he comes back with that breaking ball.
1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs. Panthers trail 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Gutierrez pitch down low as Alvarez takes that pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Wow. Joyce kind of looks back and says, where was that one? Kind of took a little glance at the home plate umpire. That one looked pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
Even though there's not a runner on, Gutierrez chooses to work from the stretch. That pitch is a strike called. Fills up the count now with 2 outs. Stare in the payoff pitch coming.
Got him. Oh.
No. Inside, ball 4.
I guess he was in the wrong slot there.
If that would have been a right-handed batter, he'd been calling that one a strike. But for the lefty, it's a ball.
Well, it looked like he stayed on the outside. I don't know.
That's going to bring up Villarreal, the center fielder. Villarreal reached on an error, scored the third run of the ball game, and then was retired on the ground ball to Krieger in right field, 9-3. Takes that pitch for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Another final in NCAA action as the Baylor Bears avoided upset as they pulled away from the Gauchos in the second half. 74-56 was that final. So all chalk so far today in the big dance. The 1-0 pitch. Wow, where was that? Has he just totally changed the strike zone for Gutierrez or what?
That one looked like right over the middle of the
That
plate.
looked really good. 2-0 now is the count. 2-0 pitch. Strike call, 2-1. Runner at first with a 2-out walk was Alvarez. Villarreal at the plate. Panthers have trailed all ball game. A 2-1 pitch. I'm not sure what he called that. He called that a ball, didn't he?
Yep.
3-1. Three-one pitch. Ball is lifted, foul out of play down the first base line. Full count now. Alvarez should be in motion with 2 outs. Payoff pitch. Just off the plate. So back-to-back walks after 2 quick ground outs. We head to the number 9 batter in Jaden Ramirez. Ramirez is 0 for 1. He walked and grounded out to Gorst. So 0 for 1. Four walks issued by Panther pitching, along with 2 hit by pitches. Need to retire this batter here. He's number 9 batter. You do not want to go back to the top of the order with either the bases loaded or you yielded a run here. Sun is broken through. Wind still hadn't died down, though. First pitch in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. Strike called, 1-1.
I was going to say, Gutierrez can't afford to.
No, you need to retire this number 9 batter here.
Behind again.
1-1 pitch. Strike called, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you got to go right after this guy.
Alvarez at second, Villarreal at first, both with 2 out walks. The 1-2 pitch is down low, 2-2. With Joyce doing a good job of smothering that ball. 2-2. You want to try to get him right here as they'll be in motion on the next pitch. He does not throw a strike here. And there it is. The backwards K strike looking for out number 3 in that inning. No runs, no hits. 2 left on base. We head to the 6th. Medina Valley trailing 3-2. Panther baseball will continue in just a moment.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Save thousands at the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year, North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get a new Silverado posted at $37,999 or lease a Texas edition for $450 a month with zero down. All new Equinoxes are $4,000 off and new Malibus are $5,000 off. Plus, get 4.99% financing for 72 months. Find new roads at North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville, or at npchevy.com.
Call State Farm agent Hazel Russell in Castroville at 830-931-3441.
Welcome back to North Park Chevrolet broadcast of Panther Baseball. Wesley Stevens is up to bat for the Panthers as they trail by 1, 3-2. Stevens takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Next pitch on the way to Stevens. It'll be that inside strike that the umpires like to call. On deck, let me see. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes now on Stevens. On deck, top of the order, J.J. Gonzalez. Stevens is 2 for 2 on the day. Pitch is fouled back. Stays alive. So Molina is still up there throwing for the Indians. And change of speeds there on that breaking ball had Stevens way out in front. And that will be a strikeout. Swinging for the first out. Brings up top of the order, J.J. Gonzalez. J.J. is 0 for 2 today with a walk. That was a strikeout more. I didn't mark it on your sheet. First pitch is fouled back for strike 1.
So Stevens swing and a miss for the first out. As Jeff mentioned, we head back to the top with J.J. Gonzalez. Gonzalez 0 for 2. Takes that pitch for a ball 1, 1-1. Gonzalez a strikeout, a walk, and reached on an error. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Gonzalez was stranded at third base in that inning, Jeff, in the third inning when the Panthers loaded the bases and could not get a big hit. The 1-2 pitch is foul back. Count stays at 1-2.
Boy, the Panthers are running out of outs now as we are in the 6th.
1-2 pitch. That's lifted, foul out of play again. Count stays at 1-2.
Molina's done a heck of a job pitching out of some jams.
9 runners left on base for the Panthers through 5 innings.
9 LOBs.
The 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. Foul back out of play. That's 3 foul balls now with 2 strikes. So Gonzalez is battling hard in there, adding to the pitch count as Molina started this inning with 89 pitches. The 2-2 pitch. That ball is lifted in the shallow right field. Right fielder calling off the second baseman and makes the play. As Ramirez coming in to make the play. F9 if you're scoring at home for out number 2. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Gavin Rips.
Molina has really gotten away from a lot of fastballs like he was early in the game, and he's changing speeds real nice on his breaking pitches now.
This is the 4th time through the lineup now for these top 2 batters for the Panthers. Rip squares around, bunts, but it's foul. Anyway, to try to get a base runner here. As Rips popped up to the shortstop and into the second baseman, and then reached on an error, but was stranded on the bases as the Panthers left the bases loaded. They scored a run in that inning. Did Stevens. Ground ball to third. Martinez throw over to first in time for the putout. So 5-3 we're scoring at home for the out. No runs, no hits. First inning now that Panthers hadn't left a runner on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Panthers still trailing 3-2. Panther baseball will continue in a moment.
Texas, 268,000 square miles and then some. Twice as much elbow room as California. There's just no place like Texas. You can take that to the bank. Texan Bank, poised and ready for a future that's wide open. Member FDIC.
Bush's Chicken, one of the oldest locations in Castroville, is proud to serve the Medina Valley area. Bush's Chicken has one goal: be the best. Bush's Chicken knows its success comes from loyal customers in the communities they serve. Stop by Bush's Chicken on Tuesday and get the Tender Tuesday deal, or try their buffalo fries and ask about their Panther special. It's always a hit. Bush's Chicken, 935 Highway 90 East in Castroville. Call them at 830-538-2800.
MVBN.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. 15 pitches in that inning for Molina. He's up to 104 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Harlandale will send to the plate 1, 2, 3. Casares, Martinez, and Molina. Casares led off the game with a hit, came around and put the Indians ahead 1-0. They have not trailed since then. It was 2-0, then 2-1, then 3-1, now 3-2. But we go to the bottom of the 6th. A single, a run scored, a hit by pitch, and a ground out to the shortstop Thunder. So he is 1 for 2 for the afternoon. As Gutierrez back out there for the Panthers. And Jeff, you need to hold the lead right here where it's at. You're going to send to the plate in the top of the inning the meat of the lineup, 3, 4, and 5. So it's imperative to keep this a one-run ball game.
That's for sure. You know, come out here if you're Gutierrez, you got to throw strikes, get ahead early, and do your thing.
Gutierrez, as I mentioned, works from the stretch. First pitch is a ball high, 1 ball and no strikes. One-0 pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball right back at Ramirez off his shin. At Gutierrez off his shin. That's going to be a base hit. Went right off the shin of the pitcher. That's another single for Casares. So a leadoff single. And we're going to have a trip to the mound. They're going to check on Gutierrez as that went right off his shin. It almost caromed far enough to where Stevens, who is now playing first, had a chance at it, but he could not get to it in time. That's going to bring up the number 2 hitter, Eli Martinez. Martinez grounded out to Garst, strikeout, and then walked, but was stranded on the bases in the 4th inning. They're going to let Gutierrez throw a couple of warm-up pitches here to see if he's okay. As it was not a glancing one. That was square in the shin. But it looks like he'll be okay. As he settles back down, he's back on the mound. As Martinez now steps to the plate, you got great speed at first base. We'll see how Coach Valenzuela wants to do this. If he wants to play for another run here, some small ball and sacrifice Martinez for the number 3 and 4 hitters who should come to the plate. All kinds of options now. Decent lead at first. And nothing on that play there as Martinez takes that pitch inside for ball 1. Snap throw over to first. Got him! They picked him off! What a play! As a quick move there to first by Gutierrez, and that erases the base runner Casares, and that was just a great move and a bad decision as Casares was caught leaning towards second base. So 1-3 if we're scoring at home for the out. Count now 2 balls and no strikes to Martinez. Gutierrez with the 2-0. Ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes. You just retired when it got on a single. You did not want to give another a free pass here to the number 2 hitter. .30 pitch is a strike call, 3-1. Taken all the way is Martinez, or was Martinez on that pitch. The 3-1. Strike call, full count. And the payoff pitch. Second baseman off the glove, play it first. Oh, and he does not cut it loose. As Martinez was hustling down there, Garst almost came up with that. He dove for it, but it went right off the tip of his glove. So how big was that pickoff? He's going to bring the pitcher back to the plate. Molina, excuse me. Molina, a strikeout victim, and then 2 singles and an RBI. So he has helped his own cause here this afternoon. Not that big of a lead at first. Ground ball to third baseman off his glove, and that will be another single. So back-to-back singles. That's going to bring up the catcher, Tyler Reinwald. Reinwald a double, a run scored, and an RBI, a strikeout victim, and then a ground out. So he is 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. So 3 singles in a row here, but a pickoff saved one of the runners, or one of the batters. So it's 2 runners on with 1 out. Ground ball to short, routine double play. Tundra to second, over to first in time. So inning-ending double play. 6-4 for out number 2 and 4-3 for out number 3. No runs on no runs on 2 hits. 1 left on base. We go to the 7th. Medina Valley needing a run to keep this game going. 3-2 is your score. Panther baseball will continue in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at MVBroadNet. This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Willing to accept the responsibility that you have to protect this team and this school and this town. And make no mistake about it, gentlemen, we are in the business of protecting this town.
This is the Medina Valley Broadcast Network.
Nobody can design, create, or maintain your lawn better than 3D Landscaping and Irrigation. With over 17 years of experience, owner Ray Doyen and his crew take pride in their craftsmanship and service. They're fully insured, offer free estimates and multiple references, so you know you're getting the best. 3D does landscaping, lawn maintenance, irrigation, tree installation, lighting, and more. Whether it's residential or commercial, 3D Landscaping and Irrigation has you covered. Give 3D a call at 830-985-9115 or find us online at threedlandscaping.com.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. Gutierrez with 32 pitches for the Panthers now. Pitching change for the Indians as second baseman and the leadoff batter, Cazares, steps on the hill for the Indians. That closes the book for Molina as he finishes with 104 pitches.
Yeah, great job of pitching by Molina this afternoon, as the Panthers had opportunities, but he made big pitches when he needed to make them to keep the Panthers behind by 1, 3-2. But now you got 3 outs and you got the meat of your order, Maury.
You got 3, 4, and 5 up for the Panthers. You can't ask for anything else. As Cazares steps onto the
It
mound.
always starts with that first runner. You got to get a base runner.
First pitch to Tundra is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. Down low, 2-0. Any way you can get a base runner here. Need at least 1 here to extend this ball game. The 2-0 pitch. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Coach Herb has the take sign in his signal arsenal, but this is definitely a time that you're yelling at him.
And look at Tundra. He is up on top of the base. The 3-0 pitch. Strike call, 3-1. I think you got to look for 1 dead red here again.
Oh, yeah. No, you're looking for something out over the fat part of the plate. And you're looking fastball still, Maury. 3-1 count. You're not gonna get anything out of the strike zone right now.
The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, leadoff walk. It's what the Panthers needed.
Okay, the situation you got here now, Maury, you got your 4-hole hitter up, who's probably your RBI leader, Whit Joyce. Do you ask him to bunt here in this situation?
Well,
I say you do.
Well, I do too, and I want to put it to you this way. We watched a game that Jared and I called Tuesday. Medina Valley was trailing 3-0. It was in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch, and he bunts it. It's foul. We were playing Southwest. Southwest got the number 4 hitter on base. What did the coach do? played for that one run, sacrifice it, and get another run in.
See, and I think what Coach Herb is telling
this is
Joyce
a different
right
situation because you're behind and not ahead.
You're not bunting for a hit right here. You're bunting to sacrifice that guy over to second base. Now,
you're trying to extend the ball game.
Here's also another thing. He's also one of your better hitters. You could also put on the hit and run or the slash and run here and get that runner all the way to third base.
Well, because most of the time he's going to make contact.
And you got a big gap over there at right side.
The 0-1 is a bunt fielded by the pitcher over to first for the putout, but that's a sacrifice.
That's a good job, good bunt.
That moves the runner to second base. Sacrifice 1-3 for the putout. Tanner Gorst now steps to the plate. Gorst flew out to the center fielder, but since then Jeff has had back-to-back hits for the Panthers.
I think
so he is 2 for 3.
I think that's the right call in that situation. You got to get that runner over to second base. Now it's up to your 5-6 guys.
First pitch, and that's lifted into right field. Right fielder giving chase. Foul ball territory, but will not get to it.
You know, also, Maury, if you're Garsh, you don't go up there looking for something like that he just swung at. That was down low and away. I mean, you're looking for something still in your wheelhouse. I mean, you know, you don't change your approach right now.
So no balls and 1 strike. Casares in relief for the Indians here in the 7th. Tundra is the runner at second.
That was strange.
Panther fans are hollering for a balk.
Yeah, it's not a balk.
Nope. Well, I think they did because he didn't throw it at the base. I think they think that was a balk, but the ball is lifted in the right side, but it's out of play. No balls and 2 strikes now.
Yeah, really and truly, he didn't have to throw the ball. He stepped off. So 2 strikes here. Now your job is to get the runner to third base any way you can.
You know, now Thunder didn't really have that big of a lead. I don't know why he's worrying about him with that short of a lead when it's 0-2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Breaking ball up high. No 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I know why he's throwing over there. He wants to keep him close, to second base.
Well, exactly. But
he wasn't.
You don't want your second baseman to be out of position here. 1-2 pitch, foul back. Count stays at 1-2.
That's what you were talking about right there, More. The second baseman had gone in to hold the runner a little closer. But, here's the other deal. Garth's 2 hits today. One was to right
right
field,
side, yes.
One was to the left side. So they've got to play the law of averages here as well.
Garth waits on the 1-2 pitch from Casares. Ground ball past third, foul. Count stays at 1-2.
Good job of Garth fighting it off.
Krieger waits on deck here for the Panthers. They desperately need a run here to extend this ball game. Have never led in this ball game. Trail 2-0, then 2-1, then 3-1, and then eventually 3-2 is where we stand right now. 1-2 pitch, just off the plate. Harlandale fans did not like that, but it was a little out. He hadn't called that pitch all game.
No.
That outside strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And the pitch. Check swing.
Hit him.
Yeah, but he was going around.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was off the bat.
Yeah, I guess they called it a foul ball.
Yep, I think when he swung, it went off the knob of the bat or the barrel or the handle of the bat. And that was very unfortunate for the Panthers there because that would have been a hit by pitcher or at the worst full count. But now the count stays at 2-2. That's lifted into the outfield. Left fielder a couple of steps over to the left. Now in and makes the out. F7 if you're scoring at home for out number 2. Down to their last out. as Jaden Krieger steps to the plate for the Panthers. Krieger 2 ground outs to Flores at short and then a fly out to Ramos. So he is 0 for 3 this afternoon for the Panthers. Thunder is your tying run at second base with 2 outs. Casares is on in relief for the Indians. Krieger takes that pitch up. Ball 1 ball and no strikes. Molino yielded 2 runs through his 6 innings of work. Now hopes his teammate Casares can finish it off for the win. The 1-0 pitch is outside, 2-0. Panthers have not sent a batter on deck. Now they do. Krieger awaits a 2-0 pitch outside, 3-2. It's not a bad idea, Jeff. You have first base open. You can get a force at any base here, even if you walk Krieger here.
Who's on deck?
It looks like number 7, Kanak, is on deck. Gavin Kanak. Krieger awaits a 3-0 pitch, ball 4. I think that was pretty much an intentional walk there. Threw nothing close to the strike zone. So now Gavin Kanak will step to the plate for the Panthers.
He's pinch hitting for who?
He will be batting for Manny Ramirez. Ramirez had a single and scored the first run for the Panthers on Stevens' double with 2 outs, and then a strikeout and a fly out to the
So he's actually hitting for
left fielder
Gutierrez in that spot.
Yeah, because Gutierrez went in for him when Stevens went to third base to eliminate.
Right.
So he's actually in the pitcher spot, Gutierrez. But he's in Ramirez's spot in the lineup in the 7th spot, as Stevens went on from the mound to play to play third base. So you have runners at first and second. Your go-ahead runner is at first. Your tying run is at second with 2 outs. Kanak at the plate for the Panthers. First pitch is a strike called. No balls and 1 strike. That ball is lifted back behind the plate, but wind will take it out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Is hit right on the top of the dugout.
The press box.
Or the press box, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that tonight when they say we got a chance of hail again.
Yeah. It's supposed to
or maybe even a snowflake, and a snowflake won't be that hard, I don't think. I think we got rid of the really, really bad weather last night. The 0-2 pitch. Ball outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Hey, Maury, real quick, again, let's give another shout-out to the Rusty Rooster drive-through.
Is that a shout-out or what?
That one hurt my ears. Make a quick stop on your way home from work or drop by on the weekend to grab some drinks without leaving your truck. The Rusty Rooster is the place for quenching your thirst from sunup to sundown. After all, anything goes till the rooster crows.
The 1-2 pitch is low, 2-2. I thought she said give him a shout-out.
Yeah. Hey, also, if anybody's interested, any businesses out there interested in sponsoring the 5th inning stretch, give me a call.
Strikeout look in a backwards K to end the ball game. And the Panthers strand 2 runners. The tying run was at second base with a sacrifice, and the Panthers could not bring the runner in. Final score here this afternoon, Harlandale 3, Medina Valley 2. Panther baseball will continue in just a moment.
The Medina Valley Sports Boosters are proud to support the Medina Valley Panthers. The Boosters are always looking for volunteers and new members. The MVP Boosters raise funds to support the MVISD sports and scholarship programs. Get your Panther swag at the football store located next to the concession stand. We have several items on sale. Join, volunteer, or purchase your Panther swag today at mvpboosters.com.
Save thousands at the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year, North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get a new Silverado posted at $37,999 or lease a Texas edition for $450 a month with 0 down. All new Equinoxes are $4,000 off and new Malibus are $5,000 off. Plus, get 4.99% financing for 72 months. Find new roads at North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com.
Welcome back to Panther Baseball, sponsored by North Park Chevrolet. Panthers fall to 1-2 in district play. Harlandale improves to 1-2 in district play. Medina Valley never led in this ball game, trailed 2-0 after the first. They made it 2-1, then 3-1, and then 3-2. But the Panthers, Jeff, the key to the ball game this afternoon is the Panthers left 11 men on base. 11. You cannot do that. You've got to come through with some big hits. And 2 games in a row now, the Panthers couldn't get the big hit when they needed to. Fell behind early, just could not overcome.
Well,
the deficit.
It is what it is. You got to keep encouraging and keep going out there and swinging the bat. They'll fall eventually. The thing is, you can't. You got a big game next Tuesday now against McCullum, and that's gonna.
Who we said at this time is beating Southwest 3-0. Who beat Medina Valley
6-0.
6-0.
So you could find yourself down 1-3 if you don't get the ship corrected here pretty quick. So. But they'll go back to work Monday and try to enjoy the rest of their spring break, as now it's cold. We do have a Tanya's Travel by Design Player of the Game, Maury.
Yeah, and the player of the game has to be the pitcher, Molina, who only gave up 2 runs. Panthers in that inning, had 5 hits in the ball game, but they stranded 11 runners on base as it got kind of ugly one inning, as they made a couple of errors behind Molino, but he kept bowing his back and getting the big outs when he needed to. Thus the case, that is our player of the game, the young man from Harlandale, Molina, who would get the win this afternoon.
And you get a save.
And also, a save for Casares, who came in with the big save.
Yep.
So the Panthers fall 3-2 here at Frank M. Tejeda Field. And the Panthers fall to 1-2. Harlandale improves to 1-2.
We will have broadcast next week, just not sure yet. I'm on spring break too. I'm going to go home and look at the schedule. I know Medina Valley baseball will be on Tuesday. I believe they host McCullum. And the girls, I'm not sure. I think the girls go to Southside. That'll be a big game, Maury. Southside softball team's pretty good.
Yep.
And then the boys will play at.
We'll be at home against
No, we'll go to Legacy.
We'll go to Legacy,
on
yes.
Friday, and the girls will travel to Eagle Pass.
Yep.
So big week of baseball and softball next week, and we'll try to get all the games in we can.
Stay tuned for the itinerary and the schedule for next week. So with that said, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. For Jeff Stivers, I'm